It's a term that conjures up visions of the Berlin Wall falling, families reunited, and armies disbanded. Both Koreas have repeatedly called for peaceful unification and marched together under a unity flag at the recent Winter Olympics. And when a group of K-pop stars visited the North recently, they held hands with Northerners and sang, "Our wish is unification." But on a peninsula locked in conflict for 70 years, unification is a concept that has become increasingly convoluted and viewed as unrealistic, at least in the South, amid an ever-widening gulf between the two nations, analysts and officials say. The South has become a major economic power with a hyper-wired society and vibrant democracy. The North is an impoverished, isolated country locked under the Kim family dynasty with few personal freedoms. Unlike East and West Germany, which were reunited in 1990, the Korean division is based on a fratricidal civil war that remains unresolved. The two Koreas never signed a peace deal to end the conflict and have yet to officially recognize each other. Those unresolved divisions are why seeking peace and nuclear disarmament are President Moon Jae-in's top priorities. In Friday's summit with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, said Moon Chung-in, Special National Security Advisor to the President. Unification, a key topic at the two previous summits, in 2000 and 2007, isn't expected to be discussed at any great length, he said. Public support for reunification has declined in the South, where 58% see it as necessary, down from nearly 70% in 2014, according to a survey by the Korea Institute for National Unification. A separate government poll in 1969 showed support for unification at 90%. The economic toll would be too great on South Korea, says Park Young-ho, a 35-year-old office worker in Seoul. I am strongly against unification and don't think we should unify just for the reason we come from the same homogeneous group, he said. I just wish we live without the kind of tensions we have today. Estimates of the cost of reunification have ranged widely, running as high as $5 trillion, a cost that would fall almost entirely on South Korea. What we are pursuing is only peace, he said. Supreme task, both Koreas have enshrined reunification in their constitutions, with North Korea describing it as the nation's supreme task. North Korea does not make officials available for comment to media inquiries. A North Korean statement in January urged all Koreans at home and abroad toward a common goal. Let us promote contact, travel, cooperation and exchange between the North and the South on a wide scale to remove mutual misunderstanding and distrust and make all the fellow countrymen fulfill their responsibility and role as the driving force of national reunification. In 1993, North Korea's founding leader Kim Il-sung proposed a 10-point program for reunification, which included a proposal for leaving the two systems and governments intact while opening the borders. Reunification ultimately complicates a lot of the more immediate, short-term goals, whether it is denuclearization or the human rights issue, or even just developing stable communications between North and South Korea, said Ben Forney, a research associate at Seoul's Asan Institute. Recently, they failed to agree on a program to allow divided families to communicate with each other. Mistrust runs deep. Some South Koreans and Americans remain convinced Kim Jong-un has amassed his nuclear arsenal as part of a long-term plan to control the peninsula. And Pyongyang worries the American military presence in South Korea is an invasion force intent on toppling Kim. When East and West Germany reunited in 1990, some believed it could be a model for the Korean peninsula. However, the two Germanys had not fought a civil war and East Germany had a far looser grip on its population than North Korea, former Unification Ministry official Yang Chong-sok wrote in a 2016 report. Chief among the obstacles may be Kim Jong-un himself, who analysts say has little incentive to accept the compromises necessary for peaceful reunification. And South Korea is unlikely to agree to any deal that allows Kim meaningful control. China also has a vested interest in maintaining North Korea as an independent state and buffer between the South. In the long run, abandoning the more strident calls for full unification could allow the two Koreas to mend relations, said Michael Breen, an author of several books on Korea. It's a kind of a contradiction, that unification is seen as a kind of romantic, wholesome, nationalistic dream, Breen said, where in fact it's the source of many of the problems.